Yeah, Brian, it's about the difference of the speed of the planet as it goes around the sun. The fact that it takes a little bit longer on one day and a little bit less on another over the year, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it's about.
I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool with it, but
Okay,
I mean,
so
not what you said about the Earth moving. But
this has to do with the orientation of the Earth on its axis versus its of the side facing the sun.
listen, this is not even my problem. I'm having to teach the Globers how their model.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but you keep saying, yeah, this is about, and then you say something that's about 3 steps into it. I don't even know what your premise is here. What is going on?
I have no premise. I'm just trying to teach other Globers that it's not 15 degrees per hour and it changes throughout the course of the year. That's all.
Hey, Brian. Brian,
about
I'm just going to change the conversation quickly. So.
I'll change it. Can you make natural claims about the natural world void of experimentation?
What up, Witsit?
What up, bro? Can you make natural claims about? Can you make natural claims about the natural world without experimentation?
Per hour is just a rounded off figure.
Witsit's about to fuck you guys up. You better focus.
Yeah, well, it's a simple question. So, the globe Earth makes claims about the natural world. The study of the natural world is called natural. It's called natural science, which is the study of the natural world. So,
don't worry about me, bro. Focus on Witsit. He's about to tear you guys up.
No, I have him muted. I don't listen to that.
Okay, so you're just gonna keep talking over me. That's what's up. So anyway, if you make claims about the natural world, the study of the natural world is called natural science. The way that you verify natural world claims is through scientific experimentation. Can we all agree on that?
We've been to space and we've taken pictures of the Earth, so what more do you want?
So you can't even hold a coherent conversation?
What's your evidence
already
that it's all fake? What's your evidence that the pictures are fake?
You do understand negative claims are considered to be true until proven false, right?
True that. True that.
So you're making positive claims contrary to the natural world.
We've got thousands of pictures. We got thousands of pictures.
From where?
Thousands of hours of video.
From where?
Tens of thousands of witnesses.
You don't have shit, man. So from where?
What are you talking about? From where? From all the space agencies around the world, all the people that are involved with those. All the people that are involved with those space agencies, all the astronauts, the thousands of videos and pictures.
Well, that doesn't exist. You're just making shit up. So NASA themselves
what do you mean that doesn't exist? I can show you the archives.
Shut up and I'll explain it.
What's your evidence that all that is fake?
What I'm saying
is, whatever standard of evidence would you like? You have eyewitness testimony, thousands of witnesses, directly and indirectly, thousands of.
Was that the climax of your really cool story, bro? So anyway, is that independently verifiable? And in fact, NASA admits that they aren't real pictures. In addition to that, only 24 people ever have even claimed to go past low Earth orbits. So can we independently verify your claims? Negative claims are assumed to be true until proven false. You're making a positive affirmative claim about space and what happens there, even though it violates natural law. The burden of proof is on you objectively.
Actually, there's a lot of things.
Oh, no, was the real smart guy's response? Anyone else?
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
What I said at all.
The burden of proof is on anybody that makes an assertion. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, trust me, we get it. You're not smart, okay? But a negative claim is it's like if I say Santa isn't real because you said he is real, you don't get to say prove he isn't real. You need to prove that he is real, and this is well known and established, non-negotiable or debatable based on all intellectual forum of higher education. So you sound like a complete clown. So to make natural world claims, you have to experimentally validate them.
I say,
Which is right, guys.
You don't know much of anything, and then it's taken to be true because I've made a negative claim.
It's a terrible analogy.
You're not doing too great.
Direct example from
It's probably best you just shut up.
Negative claims are true until proven false.
So you can just Google it. I mean,
burden of proof is on anybody that makes an assertion, negative or positive.
Well, prove that. No, you have the burden of proof to prove that you just made an assertion.
Look up the definition.
It's
no, you just made a claim. Please prove it.
We talked about this last time. I literally showed you the definition.
Actually, last time I showed you where Yale and Harvard says that negative claims are assumed to be true until proven false.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what? You're a clown. So nice diversion of semantical bullshit that you're actually inept of even having a conversation about. Oh, that's
so
what
then alien
you're
abductions
doing.
are true, right?
Yeah, you're an yeah. Positive claims require the burden of proof. So in fact, you're effectively committing a shifting the burden of proof fallacy.
No,
and I'm actually
my initial
premise is since y'all are making positive assertions about the natural world, we need to scientifically validate that through experiment, right?
You've been practicing your lines. What's it?
You still can't fucking respond. You're just actually a clown, little gamma. So feel free to sit on the bench. Someone else want to jump in and actually respond with specificity?
Maybe just relax a little bit, man. You don't need to go.
Look at him talking about me again. Look at him talking about me again. Does anyone actually have a responsive substance?
What's it? You said that NASA says that all their pictures are fake. I'd be curious for a link or something.
Actually, I didn't say that. I said NASA says that they're not real pictures, and they do say that. Like, for example,
I only know of something related to the blue marble where an artist who said that he had to that basically he had to composite the images from multiple satellite passes to create a picture of the Earth with minimal cloud coverage over the land to make the blue marble picture.
And then he did what with it?
He said it's fake, but it has to be because then what that means is he had to use sections of Earth when they had a clear pass over land and combine it together to stitch one image that showed all the land not covered by clouds. Because you're not going to find a day where all the land on Earth is uncovered.
But then what they do?
What do you mean? Then what did they do?
Yeah, you don't.
That's the only video that all the flat earthers refer to when they say, "Oh, NASA says all the pictures are fake." They're talking about producing that one image.
You just want to talk to yourself so you can confirm your dumbass little bias, because it's my turn to respond now, you clown show. So actually what they say is they project it on a flat map and then bend it around a ball, and then they have an artist come in, do a rendition to match what the observer expects it to look like. They're very clear to call most of these supposed pictures that you clown show little globe zealots running around claiming are pictures. They themselves call them images, very specifically, because they are actually computer generated and renditions. So would you like to bring up something that's independently verifiable or respond to the original premise of experimentation being wired, please?
Sure. Amateur astronomers take pictures of the ISS and videos of the ISS all the time from the ground.
Who's coughing?
Seriously, what the fuck?
Is somebody dying from COVID?
That was not.
Okay, you can't independently verify these things, so would you agree to make natural world claims you have to do scientific experimentation? Yes or
no? There are people. Look, what's it? Amateur astronomers verified that the ISS is up there all the time. I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay, I know. Trust me, we get it. Okay, so shut up.
Are you just going to claim that they're fake too?
No,
well, I mean,
listen, I came in. You're afraid of the question. That's how much of a clown you are. It's such a simple question. To make claims about the natural world, don't you have to validate those with scientific experimentation? Yes or no?
No.
You don't need to do an experiment to see if something is in the sky or not.
Okay, this guy's a clown. So, Jim, you said no. I think feel free to expand, please. Enlighten me.
Please. To make a claim about the natural world, you need to have evidence to support your claim.
Yeah, and when you're making claims about the natural world, the evidence comes in the form of scientific experimentation. That's the parameters of natural science.
It can do. It doesn't necessarily have to.
Well, actually, that's the definition of natural science.
Okay, but we're talking about what is required to make a claim.
Of the natural world.
What is required to make a claim is
of the natural world.
Is evidence. What is required to make a claim about the natural world is evidence of the claim.
Okay, but you cannot subjectively say what that means because objectively, the study of the natural world is called natural science, which is defined by requiring scientific experimentation. So the claims you're making are about natural world, so you must adhere to those parameters objectively.
No, I mustn't at all.
Okay, well, would you like to at least concede?
That up and it's nonsense.
So,
okay, cool story. How about this? Would you like to at least
I can make a claim about the natural world, and I can support my claim with evidence. That
Okay,
evidence,
can I ask you a
that
question?
evidence may or may not be scientific in nature.
Okay.
It's irrelevant whether it is
that's
or
a cool
not.
story, but can I ask you a question? So, are you willing to concede that the globe Earth, the claims about the natural world that the globe Earth make, cannot be verified through scientific experimentation? Would you like to concede that?
Why would I care about that?
So you just want to straddle on the fence? Does it or does it not, Jim?
Well, as I'm trying to point out to you, and you just
It doesn't matter.
You seem to have just stepped by it. Your requirement is the scientific experimentation.
You're scared to say it.
My requirement is not scientific experimentation.
Okay, so then does that mean you're saying, would you like to concede that the natural claims about the world made by the globe Earth cannot be validated through scientific
No, I wouldn't concede that in any way. That's complete.
Okay, then name one. Then name one. Listen, Jim. Then name one. Chill. Name one natural world claim made by the globe Earth model that can be scientifically validated with experimentation, please.
Well, what does that mean?
Just name one.
What? No. We've got a long way.
You don't know what that means.
Before the
You're
naming
spiraling
one
already, dude.
What does I need to know the meanings of these words? Scientifically validated. And what else did you say? There was some more after that as well. Well, let's start with those.
Someone want to throw your boy a life jacket?
What does scientifically and validated mean? Oh, an experiment. We need to know what that means as well.
Okay, I'll explain all of it. So scientific means that it is validated by experiment. What does validated mean, you fucking clown show? It means verified, empirically. Chill, I'm answering the question, please. It's empirically verified. An experiment has a naturally occurring observable phenomena, your dependent variable, and then you propose a hypothesis, a cause and effect relationship test that you're going to test out by manipulating your independent variable, which is your presumed cause, thus validating it is actually the cause of the naturally occurring observable phenomena or your dependent variable. You're making claims about the natural world, so you're going to provide scientific empirical.
So quantum eraser catchphrases. Okay, so
you're freaking out.
But I'm about to agree with you. I would say, if that lunatic ridiculous description of science that you have just provided,
the scientific method, Jim,
is the one that you're going
with. Then
you're probably correct, and we probably can't provide something.
So you're saying
we probably can't provide something. Listen to
Jim.
Oh dear, looks like you've got to be muted again, Nathan. Sorry about that, but there you go. I did try. I unmuted you. You used my unmuting to talk over the top.
Go ahead.
So you're muted again. So if your lunatic standard is the one that we've got to meet, then we probably can't meet it. But it is a lunatic standard.
If your entire worldview is lunacy, would I care if you called me a lunatic? Fuck no. So would you like to respond with specificity to my point, or concede specifically?
Yes, I did. The standard you are specifically the standard that you are requiring is lunacy.
No, I want you to address specifically. Can you concede that there is no evidence for the natural?
No, Winston. I won't be conceding this at all.
So you just want to stand in the middle and straddle a fence like a douchebag. So does anyone else want to jump in and actually respond like an adult?
I'm not straddling a fence like a douchebag. I'm just pointing out that the standard that you're applying is lunacy. Go ahead.
That's your opinion, and no one actually cares about that. So would you like to respond?
Well, you would have to
do you have scientific experiment or not, Jim?
Right. Well,
do you have scientific experiment or not, Jim?
Your standard is just your opinion.
Okay, so you don't have any based on my standard. That's what you're saying?
I don't have any on that meet your opinion, no.
Right, so the natural world claims... Well, the natural world claims of the globe Earth can't be verified through scientific experimentation. Now that we can move on from there...
That's not scientific experiment. That's your silly opinion
Let's actually get
what
specific.
experimentation is.
Do you have physical, scientific, empirical evidence of gravitational orbit?
I'm curious how
you're going to divert the conversation. I'm curious about.
We're not going any further, are we? I'm not going to provide any.
Well, yeah, so you should just shut up. Someone else want to jump in?
You need to realize that the standard is idiotic lunacy nonsense. Go ahead, Nick.
Once again, you're spewing your opinions. Yeah, someone else with a little bit more competence want to speak?
Jim's more competent than
I care about the incompetent gamma sucking the dick of the other incompetent. Can we respond to the point, please?
Is this just like where you guys all come in here and talk to the point where the rest of us can't.
Okay, so can y'all tell me where y'all first got the radius value?
So again, we don't need to go through our talking points, right?
I can't. You can't address this. So yeah, we get it. Negator's the one that steps in with his obfuscation cape and tries to save the gammas from their spiraling. So anyway, would anyone like to respond with specificity?
You asked for someone else to join in. Negator was the next in line, and now you're dismissing him. So just
no, he's literally not answering any of the points. He's just diverting. That's why I said he's wearing an obfuscation.
You haven't shut up long enough to let him speak, so we won't know that.
Yeah, actually, he's spoken 4 times.
Well, can you just
talk about me personally?
Well, I tell you what, just be quiet for a minute, for 60 seconds. Thank you. Go ahead, Nag.
I just want to know, since you know exactly what sort of experiments can prove Earth shape, which ones you've done.
Well, good straw man, you douchebag, but I never said that.
It was a question, not a straw man.
Well, yeah, it was, because you said... Since you said, dumbass, that's a straw man. Since you said that scientific experimentation can prove this, stop interrupting me.
You say something.
Jim, where are you at now?
Negator, stop interrupting.
Okay. He straw man me and said, since you say that scientific experimentation can prove the shape of the Earth, I never said that stupid shit because the shape of the Earth isn't a science question. I said the natural claims encompassed within the shape claim cannot be validated with scientific experiment. You know, like gravitational orbit, the convexity of water, yeah? Like the claim against the second law of thermodynamics, yeah. The claims of the natural world encompassed within the shape claim. Shape is not a scientific question.
Okay, so what methodology would you like to use to determine Earth shape?
Well, what methodology can you use? It would be measurement, right?
Well, we're asking you because you're telling us how we should be doing it.
No, that's the only way you can validate a shape claim is measurement.
Okay, how do you do that?
You measure the surface
with
optics. If you see too far, there should be physical obstruction of Earth curvature based on the radius claim.
So seeing too far is a measurement?
Yes, like if I know I'm 30 miles away, then that's a measurement of observation, falsifies your claim, necessitating physical obstruction.
So 30 miles is the measurement by which we determine Earth not to be ball and to be flat.
It can be as small as 10 miles, depending on how high off the ground you are, based on your radius claim and rate of curvature.
So
this
10
is
miles.
Second grade geometry, maybe 4th grade.
So 10 miles that's the number we're looking for?
At 1 foot, I see the horizon 10 miles should be no further than 1.2 miles. That's because radius claim.
You're breaking up. There's 10 miles radius, something.
Yeah. Because of your radius at 1 foot above the surface, you should see the imaginary horizon and no further than 1.2 miles. We see 10 miles.
Which you need to rejoin. Your mic's all over the go.
It's all right.
This is good, guys. Just keep it one at a time and try not to make it into a shit show.
Based on your radius claim, we should see a geometric horizon at no further than 1.2 miles with an observer height of 1 foot. Yeah, we see 10 miles. So you're claiming a physical obstruction that isn't there.
Not right. We don't claim that we're going to see a geometric horizon.
Actually, for years, you told me that boats went over the geometric horizon.
They're still saying that.
So that means that we would be seeing the geometric horizon if it goes over it and blocks the view of the boat, you clown show.
No, you clown. No one claims that they see the geometric horizon.
Okay, so how do you know it's there then?
I never said it was there.
Oh, so you don't think the Earth's a ball? Well, welcome to Flat Earth. Someone else want to jump in?
You asked me to reply, and then you cut me off. Jesus, what a rude fuck.
Someone else want to jump in?
We see a horizon, but it's not always the geometric horizon.
How do you know there is a geometric horizon then?
Because of the shape of the planet.
Oh, so you're reifying and begging the question and contention. Anyone else in the hierarchy want to jump in? Okay, how did you get the radius value in the first place?
We measured it.
How?
Measured it, Jim.
How?
We surveying.
That's not true. That's not how you originally got the radius value.
Hold on. Let's go back to the part where...
We get it from
No. My question is, how did you originally get the value? You said that we never claimed, which is a lie. Well, I'm talking. You said that we never claimed that we could see the geometric horizon, which they did for years. But you're saying that you don't claim that now because we've dismantled that bullshit and proven it false. I'm asking you, how did you validate the radius claim or that there was a geometric horizon in the first place?
You measure it again.
Okay, so how did they originally come up with the radius value of your religion?
I don't care how they originally came
You
up
don't
with
care,
it.
so does anyone
I'm
else
not
want to
finished,
jump
not
in?
finished. Why do you feel as if you have to interrupt me all the time?
You're just
Right?
diverting.
I don't care how they originally measured it. We can measure
I don't care
it
what you
now
care about,
by
though.
geodetic surveying.
No, that's just a reification of a spherical assumption.
No, it's not.
I'm asking how
There
you
it is.
validate the radius claim in the first place. Can any glober want to jump in and answer?
Don't care. We can measure it now.
Is he speaking for every? Wait, come out. Is he speaking for every glober when he says, "I don't care"?
How we got it in the first place doesn't matter. We can measure it now.
Calm down there, All-Star. What does everyone here in the room that's a glober agree with?
Doing a good job with.
No, he's not. He's obfuscating.
He's not. You're trying to obfuscate by getting someone else involved. Just let him finish the conversation.
No. All right, Broomy, shut the fuck up, okay? So I'm not obfuscating when my original premise is being literally obfuscated from by multiple people.
Other people to get involved?
Because he won't answer the question, he's obfuscating.
Give him a chance to answer. He might answer it.
Okay, what's my question? See if he even knows my question.
It doesn't matter how the original radius was found.
Why
It
don't
doesn't
you
matter.
repeat the question?
Okay, how did you originally? How did you? Can someone tell him to shut up or something?
Shut up, Brummy.
So he's not even trying to argue, but he's just talking. Okay, so how did you originally establish the radius claim?
Well, I didn't do it. But
how did the model?
Did. Jesus, do you have to interrupt all the
equator
time?
is roughly 24,900 miles. The surface area of the Earth is 198 million square miles.
Oh, I asked about the radius.
Richard, if you ask a question and you don't let him respond, we're going to have to mute you, mate. It's just not fair.
He wasn't interrupting.
Paul
doesn't matter how the original radius was found.
I was literally starting to answer, and he interrupted me.
Well, you said I didn't come up with it. I just said, okay, how the model come up with it. I didn't mean. I wasn't trying to interrupt you, man.
All right, we know the question. Let Paul have a go at answering it. Go ahead, Paul.
Several ways that we originally estimated the radius of the Earth, but that's not the point. The point is that by modern day methods, we can measure it. So how we originally measured it is quite irrelevant.
Well, actually, no, it's not, because it was ran with for hundreds and hundreds of years. And now, even if you disagree, that's subjective. You're telling me what you think's important. And I'm just asking, where and how did you originally establish the physical claim of the radius?
Like I just said, it doesn't matter.
It does matter, because whenever I said, we're supposed to see a geometric horizon, he said, no, we're not going to see it. I said, well, how do you know it's there then? And he just said it didn't matter because he knows the Earth's a ball. I said, that's what's being questioned. So how did you originally determine that and know the size of it, i.e. the radius?
The geometric horizon.
It's like saying how they originally found out to fly. We've got different ways of flying now. We've got more updated versions of how we fly.
No, the reason it's relevant is because the foundation of the religion of heliocentrism, the radius value, came from the horizon that he just now said you can never see the geometric horizon.
But this seems to be reliant
at all.
Yeah, you did.
No, that's not what I said.
So we can see the geometric horizon.
No, that's not what I said. You're twisting my words.
Oh, I'm letting you clarify, man.
Well, you're not letting me clarify because you're interrupting once again. Okay, I said that we don't see the geometric horizon most times. I never said we never see it.
Well, when do we see it?
On very rare occasions.
Well, can you provide an evidence of when we see it? Can you provide an example? Provide one.
You have to back it up, right? Back up your claim.
Just one will work.
That's a good question. When do we see the geometric horizon?
Muting me, dude.
Well, we would see the geometric horizon on the moon, wouldn't we?
Oh, on the moon. So can you bring? Do we ever see it on Earth, man?
Holy shit!
That's fucking terrible, though.
Well,
That's terrible.
it's an example. You asked me for an example.
We need a better one. We need a better one.
Okay, can we ever see it on Earth?
No.
Okay, so we can never see the geometric horizon on Earth, yet the origin of the radius value claim is actually seeing a horizon on Earth.
The fact that we see a horizon indicates that it's curved.
No,
Oh God,
that would happen over a flat surface.
No, it wouldn't. You need to substantiate.
Hold on, time out.
Okay, stand in
how did we get? Hold on. How did we get to the moon if we didn't know what size the Earth was.
Even Jem laughed. Even Jem
Everyone have a
fucking
bad
laughed
mic?
at that.
Yeah, you was doing so well, Con, but I think that moon comment really set you back. I think we need to definitely just reevaluate. Just admit, you admitted though. You admitted you never see a physical geometric horizon, so that's pretty cool. So
So that I don't.
But the fact that we see a horizon shows that it is curved.
That's just a reification fallacy and a really cool story.
No, that's not a reification fallacy.
Yes, it is. You're begging the question.
You're misusing the term reification.
You're giving concreteness to a concept, which is your model, which is abstract inherently by definition.
No, I'm not giving
concreteness. You can't just say, "Nuh-uh, buddy."
You can't just keep interrupting me. I'm not giving concreteness to an abstraction.
Feel free to expand. That's a nuh-uh. Okay, someone else want to jump in?
That shit was hilarious. Even Jem laughed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
hold on. I got to see something before I hop in my hotel.
there was a crash and burn as well. He's doing so well. He's doing so well.
I'd have to disagree with that one, but someone else want to jump in?
This was also seeing the horizon from a distance, right? That's how he started all this?
Yeah, Alberuni. How about this? Can I?
Drop square, 8 inch per drop square.
We're pretending it's all down to our...
No, listen. I'm gonna say. So I don't strawman you. Can I say? Wait, listen, bro. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to meet. No, I'm trying to meet you halfway. So I don't strawman y'all. Would y'all agree that this is y'all's stance, which is that Alberuni he used that method, which was just an estimate, and he just basically, luckily, was very close.
Well, I'm mystified as to why we're talking about this, because our first encounter with this conversation was you arguing that the only way we could make any claims about the natural world was through scientific experimentation. And then you went straight on after that to say we can find out the shape of the Earth by measuring it, and that isn't scientific experimentation. And we're now
you're right.
having a discussion about that. So
measurement isn't scientific experimentation.
But can we use measurement to make claims about the natural world?
No, we can use measurement to falsify a shape claim of sphericity.
Would that be
flat
a claim?
Isn't a shape claim.
Would we be able to make a claim about the natural?
We would be able to falsify the claim about the natural world that it's a ball.
Well,
you really have trouble keeping up, dude.
It's a simple question. There's no ball, there's no nothing. It's just about claims and the natural world. Would we be able to make a claim about the natural world from making measurements?
You would be able to falsify a claim about the natural world regarding shape, because when you claim the shape, it comes with natural world claims.
So we couldn't make a claim. We couldn't make a claim then. We couldn't
Are you incapable of understanding simple things, or are you just a liar?
I'm asking you a question, and you're not answering.
Yes,
I'm
I am.
asking you one question, Wixit, and you're answering a different. So
no, I'm answering that one.
I'd like an answer to my question.
I did.
And my question isn't, can you falsify a claim? It's, can you make a claim? So your answer should not be, you can falsify a claim, blah, 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 because I'm not asking you about falsifying claims. I'm asking you about if you can make a claim. Can you make a claim about the natural world from making a measurement?
You can falsify certain claims with measurement. How am I supposed to answer that? Dude, it's a fucking stupid IQ question.
You could answer it.
And my answer answers the question.
It's a yes or no.
That's funny, Broomy, that you're a little gamma jumping in for Jim, and Jim all of a sudden now question. I'm talking about Jim now all of a sudden question. Wait, tell me, I'm gonna answer, but I have to say I'm gonna answer. But listen, hey Jim, I have to understand. Oh, there you go. Keep interrupting. Broomy, you have an IQ of 1. Dude, shut up.
Just got used against you.
No, it didn't. What I'm saying is, oh my God, just keep interrupting me. We'll let y'all get it all
We're
out.
trying to avoid.
No, I'm not. I said I'd answer your question, but I want to say something, but you'll have to interrupt.
Because you know, if you say that you can make such a claim, it then contradicts what you originally said, which is you need a scientific experiment to make it.
Yeah, intellectually dishonesty is using that.
Broomy, shut up. No one's talking to you.
The outcome, and that's why he's trying to
Okay,
evade
so anyway, can I respond now, or now we have to listen to Broomy monologue about how he feels about it? Here he goes. This is all his feelings.
Time out.
Broomy said it's his feelings. No, I'm gonna fucking respond, man.
Is that a yes or no question, man? It's a simple answer.
I would like to
Are
answer.
you gonna stop talking? Are you
I
gonna
would
stop
like
now?
to
Can I answer?
answer. Witsit, I would like to answer his question. What's the question?
Can you make scientific claims about the world by taking a measurement?
Can you make scientific claims?
That wasn't his question.
It was something like that. Was that
Well, you don't. So why are you jumping in so much?
Why are you jumping in? Oh, you're being pedantic. One little word wrong. Oh my god, the whole fucking thing is just. Point is talking now. Point is
guys. Listen, a scientific claim is already scientifically validated. That's why I said what, because that would be like a weird way to word it.
Just one thing I want to say, housekeeping thing. If anybody here does not have roles and would like roles, can you just stick it in the chat and I will give you the roles. It's just a lot of people have joined and I haven't kept up with them.
Okay, make me a mod. Make me a mod, Jem.
If your question was, can you make claims about the physical natural world, if that's the question, of course you can, but then you would have to back them up with actual physical evidence.
Yeah, but my answer answered it, and everyone here is going to act like my answer didn't answer it? Is that what's going to happen right now?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I said, listen, man, with measurement, you can falsify claims about the natural world. Let me give you an example. We can measure pressure, okay? And when we measure the pressure, that isn't a scientific experiment, but it shows you that we have pressure, which means it can falsify your claim of the natural world. You cannot substantiate positive affirmative claims about the natural world void of scientific experimentation. So, Broomy, what you got to say now, bruh? Because that was my original response. I want to hear what you got to say now.
And that's evidence towards. Hold on. Measurements is scientific experiment.
I didn't say that. Cool straw man.
If I go out and find a rock, and I get my ruler out and I measure that rock to be 25 centimeters across,
that's not science.
I can't say that I have a rock that is 25 centimeters across. I cannot make that claim, according to
you. Fucked.
No, I said, okay, I see what you're saying. If you're using a specific, Broomy, you haven't ever said anything about the argument. Can I talk, man? Broomy, why do you want to talk right when Jim gets through talking? Why when he gets through talking and I'm about to respond, Broomy wants to tag team me whenever I would fucking annihilate that kid. Can you please stop?
Well, I'm more than welcome to try and annihilate me, Mike. But at the end of the day, you've just got destroyed. You can't make claims about the physical world without doing the experiments. Like you just said, and you knew what you were going to answer. So instead of answering it yes or no, you run around like a little headless chicken.
No, I fully answered the question. It's funny though that standard isn't held when I asked 27 consecutive questions to start this whole conversation, and the little bitch named Broomy didn't have shit to say. Neither did gempanda.
Couldn't even answer a straight question.
I did answer the question. Can we move on? Can we move on? Okay, you can't make claims about. Listen, you can't make definitive claims about the natural world.
You've just been exposed. You knew exactly what the answers were, so you tried to use your intelligence to get around the question. You just beat around the bush. Well done. You played yourself.
Right. What's true? Hold on. What's true is Witsit did ask a series of direct questions. It's not chocolate. And they weren't answered directly, but Broomy didn't stick up for him. He actually told him it doesn't matter. But now, when it's flipped, now all of a sudden he's white knighting for gempanda. That is
20 questions later.
Not really flipped,
a straight question was answered.
20 questions later, and I can name them all.
A question was answered multiple times. He didn't answer it. He
intellectually. Hey, why didn't you say something when it happened earlier, Broomy?
Well, you know about. I'm not taking no sides, brother. I'm a lone wolf in this. I don't give a fuck about global flat. The bottom line is, you was asked a straight question, and you didn't give it. You knew what the answer to.
But why didn't you say that whenever he ignored 10 straight questions, Broomy?
He asked you a straight question about the
but why didn't you say that before that when I asked 10 straight questions?
If you've got any weed, Witsit, please smoke it, man, because you're fucking hyperactive.
So is your
because
everyone in the room wants to cut me off. I'm expected to stay
down. Even sitting down, you're just like spazzing out on
he is under fire. He is under fire.
I don't really care.
But I don't care what you care about. You know what I'm saying? Literally at all.
The position is weak.
My position is weak, even though you're making claims about the natural world void of empirical evidence that's actually counter to empirical evidence. And my position is weak. And I brought that up when I first got here. No one can respond. But now y'all are aiding the obfuscation questions.
Well, I'm here now.
All right.
Okay, here's my question. Can you make definitive claims about the natural world whenever the study of the natural world is natural science and it requires scientific experimentation? Can you make natural claims about the natural world void of scientific experimentation?
Yes, and I've just demonstrated to you how. I can take some measure it, and that would be I can make a claim about the dimensions of something in the natural world by measuring it, and that doesn't require a scientific experiment. And you have agreed
right, and I've acknowledged I agree.
Would not represent a scientific experiment.
I agree, dude.
Right,
I've acknowledged that I agree because that isn't a scientific question. Measurement isn't a scientific question. Y'all keep acting like that isn't an answer.
It is a claim about the natural.
So if you don't understand that it is, that doesn't make me dumb.
It is a claim about the natural world.
It's a claim. It's a quantitative claim describing something in the natural world.
So what?
Yes.
It's a claim
but
about
I'm not making. I've made it very clear. So you're being intellectually dishonest, as is anyone amping this up.
You are. How is that? How is I have a rock?
Oh, where's all the white knights for me now that he interrupted me?
Listen, how is I have a rock?
Jim, you need to calm down and smoke a joint, dude. You're way too worked up.
I am going to do that in a moment. How is I have a rock? How is I have a rock that is 25 centimeters across? How is that not a claim about the natural world?
I said specifically it is a claim quantitatively describing something in the natural world, and I concede that in the scenario of describing something mathematically, it does not have to adhere to the parameters of scientific experimentation because it isn't a scientific question. It inherently cannot.
We can't make claims about the world about doing natural science.
I don't care about that, and I don't care about you adding the words quantitatively describing something in the natural world. It is still a claim about the natural world.
Okay, so I just said for the third time, yes, you can make claims about the natural world that are quantitative without scientific experimentation because it isn't a scientific claim.
Okay,
so you don't even like my concession because it's so foreign to you, to someone to concede and be honest.
In a load of
How? I'm saying I concede that when you zoned in, semantically arguing with diversion. Why are you interrupting me? When you zoned in on a semantical diversion, because I said claims that didn't specify science. Why do you have to keep interrupting me if I'm so stupid, Jim?
Because
so you honed in on stop.
Because we're
talking this is ridiculous.
Because
this is
we're talking about what we accept as evidence. And
are you going to shut the fuck up now? Because we let you.
That it's a semantic diversion. That it's just we're only talking about the words that we're using. Not the type of evidence that we require.
Hey, so can I talk now?
That's not true.
Can I talk now, Jim, or you just want to keep talking?
You just want and not the words that we use. That's
now that it's been about 2 minutes, can I talk now?
Yes.
Thank you, man. Jesus Christ. So anyway, I will rephrase my original premise so that the semantical diversion can't take place. You can't make scientific claims about the natural world void of scientific experimentation.
Okay, so how about this? What if we wanted to determine
tautology?
What if we wanted to determine whether there's condors in the forests of California? So we go out to the forest and we take a picture of a condor flying around in the trees, or we take a video. Is that scientific evidence of condors in California or no?
Scientific evidence of it? No.
It's not scientific evidence. So even though we photographed and videotaped condors flying around in the forests, that's not sufficient evidence to say that there's condors flying around in California.
Well, wait, that's not a scientific statement. So you don't ever understand anything.
Determining where a certain species resides is absolutely a scientific.
Wow, look at all y'all spiraled right then. That's so funny.
What you're saying is you've got no scientific evidence against the globe. That's what you're saying. You've got no scientific evidence towards the globe. That's what you just said.
Towards the globe?
You got no, yeah, you got nothing against the globe. You got no scientific evidence.
Yeah,
against the globe.
no, I have no.
That
Listen.
measurement-
I have. Hey,
that
can I talk
measurement's not
now?
science.
Can I talk now?
That measurement's not science.
I didn't say
thing.
that, so now I get to talk. He strawmanned me. No, I never said that we don't have any scientific evidence against the globe, because the globe, which is a shape claim, the sphere is a shape claim. The model doesn't just claim a shape, because with the shape claim in the model comes a bunch of claims about the natural world, such as a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum, gravitational orbit, convexity of oceans. So those are inherent with the shape claim, although independent of it at the same time. If you're incapable of comprehending that doesn't make me stupid.
No, measurement is not science. You have no scientific evidence against the globe by your own definition.
Let
here's the
Swan get
thing,
in.
right?
Let Swan get in, Brummy. Go ahead, Swan.
Like, here's the thing. He's talking about taking pictures of like Commodores or whatever bird, right? It's like, okay, I take pictures of things all the time. I'm all of a sudden a scientist. Oh my God, don't you ever fucking call me stupid again. I'm a fucking scientist, bro.
Okay, so now that we've now, can anyone answer the original question?
Right.
Because y'all hate obfuscation so much here, and you hate when people don't answer pointed questions. Can I get an answer to the 10 pointed questions that were yes or no that I asked?
So what if we tested someone's claim?
Oh, you have double standards here, so the little globers don't have to actually answer any direct questions.
Well, no, you've got a double standard with it, haven't you?
I answered the question.
Because you opened by telling us that the only way we could make claims about the natural with scientific experiment, and then started demanding those scientific experiments.
Other than measurement claims, because that isn't science.
And now you've had to concede that that isn't true, and we can make claims about the natural world using other forms of evidence.
Descriptions of the natural world's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
I'm talking about claims of causation.
Well, a claim about the natural world could be a description of the natural world, couldn't it? That would be a description.
No, you describe the naturally occurring observable phenomena, but science explains that you have to claim a cause. That's what I'm saying. So now that we've already addressed that you semantically argued the word claims without a specifying descriptor in front of it, and we addressed it for 5 minutes, and I conceded. And now you want to double down on it as soon as I brought up the fact that y'all all couldn't answer 10 straight questions. And no one here has fucking shit to say now. It's funny, the little globers are real quiet now, though. That's funny as shit.
All right, be quiet.
No, I'm waiting to talk.
It's funny that QE's ran off. That's what's funny.
Let somebody respond, then we won't be quiet, will we? If you shut up.
It's funny that
you won't answer my question again, guaranteed.
Because you're talking again. The reason why I won't answer your question is because shut up! Is because your question demands the scientific experiment that you've just conceded are not required.
I already updated the statement. You're just a fucking liar. And Brummy's your little bitch. And the Gator's also a bitch. So anybody else want to jump in and not answer the question, or would someone like to stop talking about me?
I'm sorry, you're in the conversation.
I've already
conceded that your question is malformed.
I already updated it, didn't I, Jim?
I'm sorry,
Jim, did I update it?
You've been humiliated.
With the semantical argument? Yeah, dude. I was so humiliated.
Against you, and you're not really man enough to admit that. You know what?
I already conceded, Broomy. How am I not man enough to admit something? No, you're such a little bitch that the one time you got me on a semantic... Witsit, calm down. 5 people interrupt Austin. Witsit, calm down. That's cool.
You're yelling.
Because I can't fucking defend myself. It's all straw mans from little bitches.
Don't call me out then. Don't call me out. You don't have to mention my name.
Because you keep jumping in as soon as I have to listen. Dude, listen. If I let Jim... Listen what happened. I let Gempanda monologue.
It's not science. You have no scientific evidence towards against the globe.
Just shut your mouth for a minute. You said that like 5 times.
Yeah, I do have scientific evidence against the globe. The necessary antecedent for physical containment. What's up now, bitch? What's up?
How did
I want to debate Broomy. Broomy's so smart, I want to debate him. Broomy's so smart, I want to debate him.
We can debate anytime, bro.
Right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you don't have any scientific evidence of the globe, is what your claim was, right?
I don't claim a globe.
No, you said that to me, right?
You don't have no scientific evidence towards the globe, yeah?
Against the globe, you mean, right?
Yeah, by your own standards, your measurement is no evidence towards the globe.
I know, right, exactly. So you're saying, you're saying I have no scientific evidence against the globe, right?
No, you don't.
Okay, so what about the fact that entropy will always increase, always, right? And you have gas pressure adjacent to a near perfect vacuum void of physical containment. That's a natural law of the natural world, okay? That's science, buddy. And you know how we know that? Because we can manipulate it and vary it via experimentation. You're making a claim contrary to that. What's your response now, bro?
I'm not making a claim. I don't make a claim that we do live in a gas pressure
okay, so anybody else?
Okay, let me answer that. Let me answer that. What's it? Let me answer that. Hold on, Brummy. He's trying to lead you into a trap
Say
here.
one thing and then goes off on one. Yeah, all right, that's a lovely 1v1, isn't it?
He's trying to lead you into a trap here, Brummy. And people might not have caught it because they're so used to hearing it.
Listen. He's asking me a
it
question
was.
about gas pressure about a container. I don't make
He's
the
lying
claim
about
a
it
globe.
too, Brummy.
His evidence towards the globe. He cannot demonstrate that it isn't possible either. So he has to go through his own stringent method.
No, you said I don't have scientific evidence, and I just now provided it.
Where's your experiment proving it's
Okay, I'll show you experiment. So if I make a vacuum chamber, I fill it with gas, and then I'll remove the lid of it. The gas will disperse omnidirectional in all directions once physical impedance and containment is removed.
Where's your physical demonstration of that? Where's your demonstration?
Okay, you can go do it yourself. Go get a propane tank and turn the little knob.
Where's yours?
I just told you. I have a propane lighter right here. Listen, I have a propane lighter.
Demonstration.
I'm telling you my demonstration. You just have to
never
keep
done
interrupting.
You've never done science in your life. You've never
Yeah,
put together.
I have a propane lighter right here.
Experiment in your life.
Bring me spiraling. Wow.
You've got no science. Where's your demonstration? Show me you recording yourself doing a scientific experiment.
Are you going to calm
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I've got you. I've got you with your trousers down. Your pants are pulled down. I've got you bent over. I'm about to drive my shaft into you.
Wait, let's listen to him. Let's listen to him.
Where have you ever shown me any scientific evidence? Show me a video of you doing a scientific experiment. You've never done any of this stuff. You just spurting nonsense down the microphone.
Yeah, we heard you the first time, dude.
What have you got to say?
No, I get to respond, dude.
Okay, let him respond, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, now you got your little fit out. An experiment that you can do yourself when it comes to gas and containment. Yes, I have a propane lighter right here.
You haven't done it.
And whenever I when I press the button down, it opens up the front of the propane lighter, allowing the gas to escape.
Cool. You got to do that inside of a vacuum, yeah? Where's your vacuum?
No. What? I don't need a vacuum.
Of course you do. You need to mimic the parameters of space, don't you? If it's supposed to the ball.
No, I'm not proving it. Whoa, you're so lost. I'm not proving the positive claim of space, my
you need
friend.
to set the parameters up to be mimicking the real world or the globe.
What's my premise I'm supposed to be proving right now?
Well, you're trying to debunk the globe, right? So what you need to do is you need to start with a vacuum. You wouldn't just get your lighter inside of a and just get your lighter out and open the lighter. You have to mimic what they say.
Hey, what is the premise that what's the premise that I'm?
Their claim?
Hey, what's the
their claim?
No, I don't have to falsify. No, calm down.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Look, he's freaking out. So what is the premise? Hey, what is the premise that I am supposed to be substantiating with my experiment?
You're supposed to be falsifying the globe's claim.
So no. You don't even know the premise.
For a start,
that's why you're lost,
if you want to try and show that entropy always increases, then first of all you need to get yourself a vacuum chamber. Then you'd have to get yourself a service, and you'd have to do some actual science for once in your life, rather than just spewing nonsense down a microphone.
Okay, so if you have a propane tank and you remove the containment, the gas escapes. That is a physical demonstration and experiment of manipulating the independent variable, which would be the containment being removed.
Yeah, but you're not in a vacuum until begin with, so the
it's nothing to do with the vacuum, you moron. My premise is that you have to have pressure. Gas pressure requires container.
Me starting my conversation wasn't a cue for you to start talking.
Gas pressure requires container.
Here we go again.
Respond to the actual premise.
You're going to keep talking.
Okay, let Brummy respond.
Well, he's not going to.
Well, how can I respond when all you do is
fucking... Because 3 times in a row you haven't responded.
Get on with it. Brummy.
Okay, physical demonstration and experimentation to provide evidence for the premise that to have gas pressure, you have to have container. He doesn't even understand the premise right now, and he's fucking just spiraling. So, can we move on? To say there's no scientific evidence against the globe Earth is so incredibly stupid and fallacious and dishonest. It's wild. I just gave you one example, and I can give you plenty.
Okay, now be quiet. Brummy, you're lit up, but I'm not hearing it.
He needs to rejoin. He's probably talking and doesn't realize we can't hear him.
All right.
You mean screaming.
Rejoin Brummy if you can.
Yes, that's why he's not making any noise.
Oh, he's muted. Do you want to go, Nick?
I still want to know what sort of work, since apparently the words we use are very important here. What's it's done in pursuit of understanding the shape of the world?
So what I'm saying to you is, you and your little lighter is no experiment.
Oh
It's no experiment. It's not a physical experiment about the
You didn't
natural
miss a
world.
beat, Gem.
He didn't even know he was gone, probably.
I didn't. I just fucking had a really good speech as well. Finally got some off my fucking chest, and then I just realised my
Nobody
mic
heard
cut
a
out.
word of it, man.
Away you go. Away you go, brother.
Let's say it again, right?
Let's hear it again.
You and your little lighter is not meeting the no scientific standards that you've set to make any claims about the natural world. Therefore, that would not be evidence against the globe model. If you want to actually debunk the globe model, you'll have to do something more than sitting there spewing fucking shit and actually do a scientific experiment trying to mimic the parameters of the actual world that is proposed by the globe side, and then try to falsify it rather than just running your damn gums.
Okay, so we have pressure in the propane tank. All right. So what
He
it
asked you
demonstrates.
what you've done, not tell us what other people have
Yeah,
done.
I've done this.
Where's your scientific evidence? Where's your scientific
I'm
proof?
trying to answer it.
You talk about opening a lighter up in your living room. That's not science. Sorry, my friend. That's not natural science about the natural world. There's no claim against the globe.
Why do we mute? Why do we mute on 24/7? Why would we ever do that?
Well, it was asked what experiments he did regarding the shape
No,
of the Earth,
Negator,
and he
you
started
interrupted
talking
me
about
also.
pressure.
When
So can
someone
I actually
disagrees with
respond
you,
now?
if
Or?
someone says something too challenging, those are the reasons that you 24/7.
That was a good one.
I got banned from the server for asking for someone for a fucking.
I don't care. That's why you're acting like a bitch, I guess, to me today. I don't care, though. That's why you're acting like a bitch to me. You could have just DM'd me. I probably could have got you back in there, but instead you just attacked me with stupid, faulty premises. Can I respond to your fucking monologue now, Broomy?
You're on about.
Does anyone agree I should be allowed the time to respond to his monologue?
Absolutely. I'm 50-50 on that. I'm 50-50 on that, to be honest.
It is my turn. I tried to speak like
go ahead,
10
you got it.
times in 10 minutes, but I can't remember. I just wanted to say that this is a perfect example of how you guys are fully capable of understanding. I mean, Brummy is a full-on globe earther, only in action, because he understands exactly how the arguments work. I've heard him argue them, but he'd sit here and be a total dick for whatever reason. I don't know.
Whatever, Elijah. I'm not a fucking glober or a fucking flat earther. I'm a fucking rogue.
So you're useless. So stop talking.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You can't prove nothing. Neither can the globe.
Yeah, I can. I just proved my premise scientifically with an experiment, and you're incompetent, so you don't understand it.
Both sides are useless, including your side.
Okay, this is an emotional spiraling right now.
You've done no science, right? You've done.
This is the best your server has too. Is like post a picture
running your mouth and saying long words, but you have not done any science.
We didn't give him a chance to answer what science, Brummy. He didn't get a chance to answer.
Well, I'm responding to fucking to Elijah, trying to make a claim about you're a glober because you're a glober now because you're not backing me up in every single turn because you're not fucking helping me in every single thing I say. I'm pointing out fallacious arguments on both sides.
Deserves a chance to
What a straw man! I didn't say that.
No, well that's what you're doing. You're crying about me sticking up for what's true and what's not. I don't give a fuck what side. I'm looking out for the truth. The truth is independent of your fucking biased and they're biased. Quincy was asked a straight question. He didn't answer the question. He flopped. He fucked. He danced around it. He showed dishonesty. I called him out.
You could have answered the question. That's true.
If that makes me a glober, so fucking what? But I'm not a fucking glober just because you said I was.
All right.
All right. So the only reason I didn't just answer the yes/no question was because it was kind of dishonestly asked. It was very important to specify that you can technically make a claim using the broadest interpretation of that word being dishonest, because you could quantify or describe something in the natural world. So I then conceded honestly, like no one in this room's ever done, and I said, sorry, I should have specified better and said scientific, or I'll specify here, you are correct, you can make a claim about a description of the earth in the natural world. Since that isn't a scientific claim, then it doesn't have to adhere to the parameters of a scientific experiment. So I specified my statement more.
But that's just a tautology. It's a meaningless term. You just, of course, a scientific experiment has to have science in it, or are you saying it the other way around? Of course,
isn't it fair that I specified that though? Like,
I never got to respond then, but I do respect the fact.
Well, I want to respond to this because he said that using the word claim in its broadest sense was dishonest.
Okay, I'd already conceded that, Jim.
You were using it dishonestly, and
well, not intentionally. Dishonesty is an intention to deceive.
I'm still talking. What you just said was dishonest because you argued vociferously. that scientific experiments were required for claims about the natural world. You did not specify science.
Yes, but I already did concede that and dishonest. Of course you are.
And you did not specify science. You added that at the end, and then you're claiming that I'm the one that's being dishonest and I'm the one that's using these words incorrectly. I'm not. You changed your position when I showed you.
Oh, wow.
Get a word in, please, Jeff.
I'm just going to mute you because you won't shut the fuck up. You changed your position when I showed you that your position was incorrect, that you can make claims about the natural world without scientific experiment. I showed you that you were wrong. That's why you changed. Thank you.
All I want to say is I do respect you. I do respect Witsit for accepting that and I concede that point, which is more than what most people are willing to do. So we need to show respect.
Look, everyone just wants to all time. They are so cool, man.
I never got to respect your original claim.
Don't pretend that you were doing something else.
Hey, can I respond now, or y'all just want to keep talking?
That's true, yeah.
All right, are y'all done?
Respond. Yeah.
Okay, so I did indeed concede that I should have specified better to clarify. Dishonesty is intentionally deceiving someone, which is in no way what I was doing, because I very quickly specified. And it's so funny because sure enough, I could have said yes or no and then specified, but y'all would have cut me off as soon as I answered and laughed and shit. And I should have done it anyway. But funny enough, that's what you do every single time I say something to you. But as opposed to what you normally do, I honestly said, okay, you're right. I concede if you take the very literal application of claim as meaning any broad application. Yes, you're right. You can make quantitative measurement description claims because that isn't a scientific claim. So now that I've clarified, I have no intention to deceive anyone.
Mm-hmm. No,
I don't have to be dishonest in my debate tactics, dude. Y'all have to do that.
I do. That needs to be respected, and you're right. Not many globals do.
Well, it just seems like your version of science has no value at all.
Why is he talking over us? At the end of the day, you have to show respect. Respect's given. You did concede a point, and that's more than what most people are willing to do. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, sort of, he did. But anyway, let's hear from Lewis. Go ahead, Lewis.
Oh, I was just saying, it seems like your version of science has no value.
Oh, yeah? How so? Feel free to expand on that profound claim of yours.
Well, it's not profound. It's just a logical extension of what your version of science is.
Feel free to substantiate that.
What can you do with science?
Detail cars.
No thanks.
Oh, burn.
All right, well, there you go.
What kind
Useless.
There you go. What? Okay, so yeah, you can have a naturally occurring phenomena, and then you can manipulate a variable that affects that.
Yeah.
Phenomena.
So what can you do with that?
The cause of it.
What's something you can do with that?
Well, you can control the variables of pressure, have water, then add heat at a certain heat and temperature that it will boil. Thus, with a control variable of pressure, which you can do this inversely also.
How would you measure that?
Variable you manipulate, the independent variable you manipulate.
I'm not getting like a clearer picture of what you're.
Why do you always have to interrupt me like little kids?
Value. It can falsify.
So funny, y'all want to respond to my point before I make it. Doesn't that seem like a dishonest tactic? Since you are so really
get on
keen
with it,
on
for
honesty.
fuck's sake.
Oh, look at another
asking
Austin.
You are pretty verbose.
Well, Lewis was asking
Sheeple?
him to.
What the hell are you talking about?
Lewis asked him to clarify what he was talking about so they could have a discussion. He wanted to know what he.
I already did, but I got cut off right in the middle of it. And then y'all started arguing against it before I made the point. And then some girl screamed.
But Lewis didn't.
She's crushing. Mifflin's a proper heckler. But Lewis and you two should carry.
My expectations are pretty low.
Witsit and Lewis.
This is all you get here.
Can we not hear it, please? Witsit and Lewis.
Yeah, let's hear it. Witsit, can Lewis state his question again to maybe help you get back on track? Because there has been a lot of
right? I know the question, right? Like, what use is your science? Can you give me an example of something you can do with your version of science? Because he's questioning what I say as if it's useless.
Okay, go.
Okay, so you can control the variable of pressure. You can have water. You can introduce a certain amount of heat at a certain temperature. When you control the variable of pressure, that water will boil. Thus, the independent variable you manipulated or presumed cause would be the heat, because the heat made the water boil.
Yeah, but no, you've manipulated pressure as well, so.
Well, you just were at the sea level, yeah. You controlled that variable, right?
When you survive off of ramen, this sort of thing is like, that's your field.
Y'all actually think he's funny?
That doesn't sound like that. That doesn't sound like fucking Lewis.
It was very funny.
No, it's the little gambler who's already admitted in the chat he has no intention of having a serious substantive conversation, that he just intends to troll me all night. He literally typed that.
Fine. Well, you can't have a
Well, that's
conversation with
fine. Of course it is in your little
People
world.
express themselves in different ways.
You mean like a
Lewis's
bitch?
question?
We try and accommodate
What was
everyone.
Lewis's question?
Well, I mean, I can boil water without your version of science too, so.
Well, okay, if you go to a certain altitude with different pressure, then do you have to control the temperature?
Do I have to control the temperature to boil water?
Yeah, like is it still at a certain temperature? What's the temperature? Would that then be your control variable? Would be temperature if you manipulate the pressure to make the water boil, correct?
I don't know. I just kind of keep
We
adding
know you
heat.
don't know.
How about a natural experiment? Would that be part of science?
Yeah,
Why can't it just get to where y'all offer actually empirical, verifiable evidence for your claims about the natural world?
Well, we have done
After
pictures
an
from
hour.
space.
Pictures from space is empirical, meaning verifiable, so I can independently verify that? How so?
Independently verify. What you mean?
Well,
You personally?
what does
need to verify.
verifiable mean?
Well, I don't know. Do you mean go and regather that particular piece of evidence personally when you say verify?
What does verifiable mean?
I don't know. You tell me what it means.
That
to
it
you.
can be verified, right?
Okay, so what does verified mean?
Validate.
Okay, so what does validate mean?
Substantiate.
Okay, so what does substantiate mean in this case?
That you're a loser.
Demonstrate.
Okay. Oh, so it means demonstrate, does it?
No, it means you're a loser.
That's what it boils down to. It boils down to demonstration. If you're teaching people without demonstration, it's not teaching, it's indoctrination.
Yeah, like gravitational orbit, you can't even demonstrate that's possible, but we're supposed to believe wholeheartedly it's real. And your experiment is an ISS, which we can't practically demonstrate or independently verify empirically.
Can you demonstrate why the horizon stops at 10 miles or 30 miles, as you initially said?
The fact that the fact that the horizon constantly fluctuates substantiates that it's nothing more than an apparent location, which is an optical illusion. But you actually claim a physical location.
So well, we don't, but do those things only happen at 10 and 30 miles on a flat surface?
Wait, you don't claim a physical horizon? You don't claim a location of physicality?
I don't know. I was just curious about the 10-mile claim being demonstrated over a flat surface.
Yeah. So at one surface, or 1 foot off the surface, right? We should see the geometric horizon, which is the physical location claim you're making, no further than, which means it can be closer than, 1.2 miles at 1 foot. Yet,
yeah, if there's no atmosphere at all, that's true. But it's not. There is horizon.
Well, what does the atmosphere do to it then?
Hold on. I don't think that's true. I mean, and that's not the same person that asked him the question, right? Which is why I'm interrupting. Because if you Google how to get the distance to the horizon, they'll tell you. It doesn't say anything about without the atmosphere. Obviously, if you want to know how far the horizon is, they're going to give you this formula, right? Otherwise, it's useless.
So your model's top proponent's math is useless, right?
The actual question was if you can demonstrate why the horizon manifests at specifically 10 miles over a flat surface.
Well, actually, we don't know it's specifically 10. All we know is further than the marker of distance at 10.
What's a marker
and
of
all
distance?
It does is falsify, the oil rig. And all it does is falsify your claim. You seem to never be able to keep up with the fact that this is falsifying your claim. You're shifting the burden of proof. That's a fallacy, bro. Are you new to debate?
I just asked for a demonstration.
You just keep shifting the burden of proof.
That's what you're
doing. A demonstration is that we went and took a camera, we dropped it to 1 foot above the surface of the earth, we zoomed in, and there was over 10 miles visible with a horizon beyond that, void of physical obstruction at where the globe Earth would claim it to be. Defend your positive claim that was falsified. You are confused, correct?
I mean, there was an absolute gargantuan amount of refraction as well. So I mean,
Okay, so what's
make of
refraction
that
do
what you
then? Is
will.
that your claim? Is that your rebuttal?
I just want to know how it works on a flat.
I want to know how it works perfectly fine on a flat Earth.
Oh,
Because we know that the
you
horizon is nothing more than an apparent location or a limit of perspective relative to your height above the surface and atmospheric conditions. But you're claiming something other than that. You claim there's also a thing called the geometric horizon or the curve of the Earth, and that's a physical claim.
Why do people always tell us what we think?
No, this is what your model objectively claims. No one cares what you think.
That's what you think.
No, we don't care what you think.
Wait, time out. Because again, if you Google how to determine the distance to the horizon, there's a formula.
Are you debating Google right now?
$10. She doesn't specify contention. $10.
Elijah, are you debating Google right now? Or are you debating people in this server?
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Maybe you can.
Maybe you should be genuine.
Ban that little bitch. Whoever's jumping in.
Maybe you can figure out how they
get more triggered with it.
Again, maybe you can figure out. Maybe you can figure out what numbers they use to get to the moon, or say put satellites in orbit.
Great. What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Over here?
You don't know what it has to do with. That's
why do you care to fuck over here?
Guys, can y'all respond to the argument, or are y'all just going to keep spiraling?
But now you want to hear it with your fake ass? He fake, dude. He don't want no fucking answers.
Why y'all spiraling, dude?
Clowning.
Can anyone answer the question?
I don't know why.
Thank you. You've made your point. Now you're just stopping anyone else from talking.
So very simply, man, what we do observe is the horizon. It's just an optical effect. And we know that to be definitively true because it fluctuates based on a variance of factors. We can replicate this.
No more curiosity at all. We have no more interest in understanding things on a deeper level.
No, I'm trying to help you understand your claim, ironically.
Well, first of all, we're talking about the distance to the horizon. I said you can Google it, and I mean, what answer was that? Was that Twitwit that responded with? Who asked me if we were asking Google if we were debating Google? Who was that?
You thought that was Twit? Oh my god!
I'm not.
I sound a
My
lot.
bad. My bad.
Yeah, you kind of do in a way.
I sound a lot.
That's no hate on her. You know, it's all you. So
no,
anyway,
there were two people I got confused.
You can tell. You can tell.
Touche.
You're not.
Bro, these guys are exposed, dude. They just want to talk at you. They don't want answers because if you go to their room and give
I've already asked a question that's yet to be answered.
You guys act like you're posers.
I already asked a question that's yet to be answered.
I'm literally. Hold on. Only reason I'm talking is because
you just said a lot to say, man. Put a sock in it for a sec. Richie did concede his point, but no one's really answered how this horizon that constantly shifts is been measured. So his question still stands, and no one's answered it. How do we know the actual radius of the Earth? But nobody's answered his question.
We measured it, Rummy.
How'd you measure it?
Someone asked
the 103 years of the trigonometrical survey.
Sorry. So geodetic surveying.
I think geodetic surveying.
Oh, okay. So how exactly do you do that?
But also we've got
mean sea level. And
what's your plumb relative to?
Well, plumb is perpendicular because that's what happens.
Plumb line is not perpendicular based on the Earth with geodetic surveying with the spherical assumption. So would you like to cite it, or do you not understand it?
The plumb line is one way we measure, but what I was referencing was spherical excess.
No, it's required that
you have a datum point and measure the angles to the datum point, and if they go over 180 degrees, it denotes curvature.
You're skipping over something,
Winston,
bro.
listen to him. I heard what he said there. He uses parallel plumbs, and it creates spherical axis.
No, they're not. They're parallel to what? They're parallel to what?
But are you just saying that geodetic surveying...
each other. That's not true. You don't even understand your own religion.
Surveying is in... Are you saying that it's... I mean, how do you explain it? Do you think the people doing it are doing it wrong deliberately, or are they all just...
No, it's not.
deliberately, no, it's like if the Earth's a ball, plumb will actually be relative to the fact it's a ball. It won't just be on the surface perpendicular like that. So they have to account for that with the plumb line, and then they go on from there. And so I'm asking, y'all say that. Can you cite a specific one? And every time I ask, I never get one.
You don't need plumb for
For
spherical
2 years, I haven't got one.
You're conflating two methods of geodesic measurement. Geodesic measurement, two plumb lines, one plumb meaning no higher than the other, creating a horizontal line between them. Yes, true. But for spherical excess, you're using elevation and denoting the angles between. And if it equals over 180 degrees when you add all three angles, it means there's curvature. Now, allow me to post the results of the trigonometrical survey over 200 years, and you'll see that
void of plumb line.
1800
is plumb line in there.
1800.
Is there a plumb line?
And 30, I think, is.
Is there a plumb line?
Read it.
Oh, so he can't.
So here we go.
Are you saying if there's a plumb line, it's invalid? Is that what you?
No, but you've got to answer the question regardless of it being invalid or not. If Sheeple said uncertain how it works.
How's that invalid? It's very valid.
Because you should know the insiders and outs of his
If you adjust plumb line for spherical assumption, then dun. That's a reification of the model.
You're not going to adjust plumb line.
Yeah, you do. So please provide the evidence where you specifically tell me what the plumb line was.
How can you adjust the plumb line?
We need to answer direct questions. Both sides need to answer direct questions. He was asked a direct question. He didn't answer it. So go on then. Sheeple, does it have plumb lines in it or what?
Well, plumb is the same as perpendicular, which is the same as 90 degrees. So all measurements were taken at 90 degrees and then measured the excess to that. So
90 degrees to what?
90 degrees from the point. So the point of reference was measured from a 90-degree angle post.
With what?
What do you mean?
Measured with what?
They used in the 1800s. They used heavy chains, heavy link chains.
And so they
but
stretch
you see
chains,
now,
is what you're saying?
in as I posted before, the
the
measurements of the radius only varied very slightly as progression of technology became more accurate.
Provide the actual documentation and answer the question about plumb.
He did provide the documentation.
No, he didn't. He provided screenshots. Because he can't answer the question. He hasn't even actually understood his claim.
I provided the measurements, is what you asked for. When I said we measured,
No, I want the entire thing where they had to derive their calculations from will be specified in the documentation, which is the question you've still continued to obfuscate away from.
Yeah, he wants a thesis statement written by hand from the actual surveyors.
No, I want the actual documentation of all the measurements. I want the whole compilation of information. They have to specify how they derive the calculations. Y'all people don't even understand your own claims. It's so funny, bro.
You think that we have time to go through the whole trigonometrical survey with all the equipment with the patient span that you have?
Right in this 2
But
minutes.
even if we don't, what I don't get,
Otherwise they'll claim
what I don't understand. Hang on. What I don't understand, and I've asked you this, and you didn't. I don't think you really answered it. But what do you think that these geodetic surveyors are doing? Do you think there aren't any, and it's all a big lie? Do you think they're actually going out there and they're lying about the measurements?
Nope.
Or do you think, listen to the question, or do you think that they're going out there and making a mistake? How do you account for their existence?
It's based on spherical assumption, and it starts with the plumb line for the fifth time.
So they're just getting it wrong.
No, they're just assuming spherical. So yeah, they're getting it wrong, but not intentionally deceptively.
Right. Okay. So they're all just mistakes.
Plumb line requires a spherical assumption. Jim, can you respond to that?
That's what?
They're not measuring.
Plumb line requires spherical assumption.
How so?
No, it doesn't.
They're not measuring the surface of the Earth at best.
Let me respond to him. If the Earth was flat, you could use a plumb line in exactly the same way.
Okay, please provide the document where they don't account for the Earth being a ball when they establish plumb line in geodetic surveying for the 12th time.
Well, please provide the document where they do.
Perpendicular to what?
Right. You've made the claim that they do. You provided
Negator just laughs. I think he's like
really not that smart.
No, I love.
Hang on.
Using GPS
Wait,
and referencing GPS
can I get a
each other,
consensus
or are
from
they
the room? Like, is the
cross-referencing
gator
each
smart
other's
to y'all?
Yeah, go, Jim.
Do you guys think the gator's smart?
You've made the claim that they do with it. You provide the evidence that they do.
No, this is your positive affirmation. I'm challenging it. I'm asking for you to specify how they establish plumb line. You're claiming this proves the Earth's a ball, dude. That's funny to you. Y'all just invoked this to prove the Earth's a ball.
I'm not laughing.
This is how you said you measured the radius. By the way, you don't measure the radius without going to the radius. Dumbass. That's so stupid. Like, you have to go to the center to actually measure it, right? Taking a plumb line, assuming spherical assumption.
Yeah, show
doesn't
us where
mean
the
anything.
spherical assumption is.
No, show me where it isn't.
No, your claim is that there's a spherical assumption. In
No,
the
your claim is that there isn't one. Provide the documentation. I'll look at it.
That's a straw
You're
man.
afraid to let me look at the documents, and I've been asking for 2 years.
You are
2 years.
Geodetic surveys are not.
I've been asking for 2 years.
You're
I've been asking for
repeatedly
no.
making
You're
the claim.
claiming
Look,
geodetic
14 minutes
survey.
after the hour.
You said that they have to assume
Let's challenge them together, though. If the information is there, let's challenge how they collect. Okay?
If you are
referencing each other.
If you're making the positive claim that geodetic surveying demonstrates, no,
why aren't you just telling them that they're not fucking measuring?
You are making the positive claim, Witsy.
Why? That's why you have to interrupt me.
You have said.
Because you're a clown.
Been trying to say
You
this for
haven't
about.
stopped talking, Witsit. You keep talking.
You just.
Oh, look at
talk
someone else not saying anything
constantly.
with substance. What a shocker.
You have made the positive claim that there is spherical assumption. Now you need to establish that that's true. Go ahead.
Okay, can I respond? Now, look,
Yes.
guaranteed you'll cut me off because you're a bitch. But I rebutted your positive claim that geodetic surveying measured the radius.
Yeah, but you rebutted it with an assertion.
No, I'm saying I'm challenging it. So can you provide a document? I said just provide me the evidence of your claim, and I will look at it.
14 minutes after the hour. Bended knee, IERS link.
But even so,
okay,
I
thank
would
you.
like
14 minutes
evidence.
after the hour was 15 minutes after I asked for it, and thank you. I'll look at it.
I would like evidence for your positive claim that geodetic surveyors have a spherical assumption.
No, I said they have to establish plumb.
How are you establishing?
How do you establish plumb?
You just drop a heavy object on the end of a rope.
You just drop a heavy object, right?
Okay, and you don't. And then whenever those calculations then evolve into nothing.
There's no calculation needed.
Oh yeah, you have to apply it to something, my friend. You have to apply plumb to something. So if you don't understand it, I don't care what you say it was. Okay, 14. Was that bended knee? Yeah, you said that.
You apply it to your measurement, and your measurement tells you the shape of the Earth.
Has he never used a plumb bob? It's like the most simple instrument ever.
To be fair, if you use
no, that's not my argument, dumbasses. My argument is about how it's applied. You just don't understand.
It might always be. Hold on. It might always be perpendicular. You asked a question, Jem. It might always be perpendicular on a flat Earth, whereas on the globe Earth, if you're next to a mountain, it's going to be slightly non-perpendicular plumb, right? So that might be how it's different on a.
It didn't. Well, I would like to take this opportunity to say that again, I've tried to talk. I know you guys haven't heard me talk, so I don't appreciate being muted every time I try to talk. Surveyors are not measuring the curvature of the Earth.
When you kick people out for fucking kick them out, he's a poser. That's how you act, fucking.
Calm down, bro. Like I've never like banned like anyone, so I just try to keep it pretty cool.
But you let it happen around you, don't you?
No, I've never banned anyone. I've only banned one person.
Stand up for people, but when people just do it, say for example, if someone came in and did what you did all night, where they type something, you have to interrupt me. If so, can I say something, dude? If someone had a comment, the Gator's afraid to hear me talk, so I'm exposing. The Gator's not even talking. The Gator's afraid of a sentence, because I'm exposing.
Triple OG's really deserves.
If someone came into 24/7, let me say something real fast. If someone came into 24/7
If someone came in at 24/7 and did what Negator did earlier, which was type in the chat, I have no intentions of having actual conversation. I'm just here to troll him for the night. Then yes, if you then jumped on the voice and constantly like shouted or interrupted and obfuscated and
So
just did
like
what you had said you're
now.
gonna do, you would be muted.
So like
no,
calling,
I don't obfuscate.
Can we let
Jeb a
Elijah
bitch
talk?
before-
Can we let
for
Elijah say something? We've
asking
been waiting for God knows
Yeah,
how long.
let's let
And he's a good-
Elijah say
And
something.
he's a good mod, you know. He's a really good
Yeah,
mod.
exactly.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah, Whitsit, if
Go
I
ahead,
walk in
Elijah.
and call everybody a bitch, do I get kicked out or what?
Well, he's been all right
No,
to me.
no. I
anyway,
mean,
and
if people start
No?
dogpiling you and you're like, stop being
Are
a
you
bitch,
sure?
then you wouldn't get kicked
Are
out.
you sure?
Whitsit, I know you're under
You wanna
fire,
test
but
that?
just try and relax.
Yeah. But it
Try
has to be in a
and-
response to
okay.
someone not responding and
that.
arguing and dogpiling on
I'll
you.
act
and
just
I'm
like
gonna
you.
hear from Elijah.
See how
Just
long
try
hear
and
from
calm
Elijah.
down. Go ahead, Elijah.
All
Go
right, so
ahead.
does the GP from these satellites,
not
are they
Elijah.
individual and then they're mapped to a sphere like
Don't worry
this?
about it. Let him talk. I'm playing Call of
Seriously,
Duty.
I'm sorry, Elijah.
I got a question for Elijah.
I thought Elijah had something
He's
to
playing
say.
Call of Duty now.
He's playing Call of
apparently.
Duty now, apparently.
He
It
can't
was all
play-
time,
he
dude,
can't
come
chew
on.
gum and walk at the
I'm down to the last 30 people in Call of Duty. With
You
all
better
due
get back
respect,
to
I
it.
don't care
Oh,
anymore.
that's a shame, man.
Okay.
I hate when you
Are
get
you
muted and you have to wait ages to talk, and then when you get unmuted, you just fucking everyone
But-
just speaks, and that's
Yeah.
horrible.
I do have something I wish to bring up. Like,
Oh,
what
go
the
ahead.
yeah, what the fuck does a plumb bob pointing straight down to its reference point have to do with whether it's a sphere or not?
But when you interpret
Because the network of them cross-reference from each.
Yes. And that's a fact, and y'all just don't even understand your own claim. Also, just so if we're
Hang
going to go
on,
with
answer
geodetic
the question
surveying, are we willing
directly.
to disavow the Alberuni method?
No, answer the
Oh,
question
you're not willing to
directly,
disavow.
please.
I
Hang
did.
on, hang
It's
on.
1,000 years old, so do we need to? Do we need
Would
to
you? Are
even
you willing to
remember
disavow it
Why
as
are you fucking
useless?
corralling him? Why you got a fucking answer to your
I
question?
answered
and
the
he
question,
agreed
then
with
brought
what
up
you did.
another question.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
I answered the
pre-
question, bro.
No, I said, why is it curved from that point of reference? And you didn't answer it.
Oh,
I
I
get
didn't hear that question. There was
I get-
more than one question asked, so you should probably
Because all the
consider
plumb
that,
bob
right?
does is point fucking down.
Okay, but it's about whenever you use that and apply it to interpreting the data correlated to
Got
one
nothing
another.
to do with what I said.
Yes, it literally
It kind of does. You said, what does it have to do? I gotta agree.
Yeah, what does it have to do with it?
I
Not
just
why.
explained it.
Not why or how. What does it have to do with it? The line
I
goes
just
down
explained it.
towards the ground and points to the reference point that you make perpendicular to, right?
I just
And then you
explained
said
it's
from that,
about the
apparently it turns into a sphere.
It's about the application of the calculations.
You didn't say that the first time, though. You just
Yes,
said
I
that the
did.
plumb lob.
This is
itself-
being
Can the Globers
recorded,
verify
right?
how they network this shit then? Why don't the Globers verify it since y'all fucking know everything?
Is this being recorded?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
you didn't say interpretation of the data. You said a plumb line needs a spherical assumption.
I said
and you said
application.
it over and over and over and over again.
I said application, calculation, and interpretation. It was recorded.
All right.
You're a clown. Just respond to the actual argument, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much for these arguments. This is being streamed on NASA Black Site Area 69. Thank you for your cooperation.
Wow, y'all are just laughable at this point.
I got a hankering for some ramen right now. I don't know why.
That was like the third time you tried the
Do you need a
same
plumb
stupid
bob with some
joke.
ramen?
I can't respond with specificity, so I'm gonna
Do you need to?
use
do you
anything
need
I
to
know
talk
about
the
Austin's
whole time,
personal
Whitsit,
life.
Or is there other people in the server?
Well, then stop talking about me, douchebag.
No, I'm talking to Negator about his ramen, and if he needs a plumb
Yeah, what
bob
was
for
that
his
joke
ramen.
about? What did he say that joke about?
do you have
Dumbass,
to
shut
keep
up.
talking?
Stop
I'm talking
talking
to
about
Negator.
me. Stop talking about me to someone
I'm
else
not.
like a
I'm
little
asking him
gamma,
about
bro.
ramen.
That's textbook clever behavior.
Eat an MRE. He's just excited that he
You
gets
don't
to
need to
eat
get
really
triggered.
big tonight. So he's
That's
eating
textbook
ramen
gamma
instead of
behavior,
MRE.
It's
bro.
all right.
Everything's
It is all right.
fine.
Just chill. No one cares. It's not a funny
Yeah.
Did
joke.
someone get
but whatever.
triggered over noodles?
No.
Earlier,
Yes.
earlier, Negator was
Sorry,
saying
it's
that
MREs all the time.
Don't
that
say
all I eat's
triggered in terms
ramen
of
because
noodles.
I'm broke and I detail cars, so all I eat's
He could shoot
ramen
someone.
and it gets to me, and that's why I'm so stupid.
Why do
That's
people
pretty
need
accurate
to
description.
find
I'd
more
say.
Well, he's
arrested
not
stuff?
with everybody. What's it?
Why do people need to feel the need to keep talking about, oh, look, you got arrested, oh, this and
Everything's
that?
Fine.
What's that got to do with the debate
Keep
at
on.
hand?
I know.
It's
I don't really
ridiculous.
like ramen. I ate them so much in college that they're like really gross.
Leave people's personal lives
Oh,
out.
I like
so
the
what? I've been
chicken
arrested
kind.
more times
I
than
ate
you
a
can
ton of
count.
those in college, though. You know.
Yeah,
I
we
never.
don't
Piece of
have
shit,
them.
man.
We
Yeah,
don't
I,
have them here, but we do have pot noodle, and I like.
Wait,
Richie
went
went
to
to
college?
scientists eat ramen.
I don't. I didn't go to college.
Wait,
Word.
what's it go to college?
College.
I didn't
So he
fail
eats noodles for
college.
fun.
You can tell, Lewis. You can tell. You can tell
I
you
got
don't
a
shit.
football scholarship at a university, bro, and I did not go to class the whole first semester. Yes, I will admit I partied in nothing but beds.
What position
Nah,
did
we
you
we
play?
quit
Tight
college because of
ends.
that ball
Tight
shit.
end. All right.
Actually, I was a receiver in safety in high school. I got the scholarship, and they put me at
That's
tight
why they
end.
should
where?
give scholarships to football
Cumberland
players.
University.
Stupid.
Where?
Cumberland University. It's in Middle
Where?
Tennessee.
Why do people need to
Cumberland
post
Private
this
University?
shit, man?
college.
Where?
Why do people
Oh, good
stop
grief,
posting
I
guys.
just don't
I
care. I
think
just
like
think it's
Division
funny
4?
that y'all care so
It's
much.
so sad that you
I
like.
went to my local university. I deliver burgers there quite regularly.
But Jim, where do you get your oil change? Is it the Quickie Lube or some knockoff bullshit? I mean, we want to know.
You guys, it's not very nice to knock on people's jobs. At least they're employed. Look at Morgal.
Well, I own a mobile
Yeah.
detail
Right,
business, so I
wanna
work for
know more
myself
about-
and can employ other people. I
That's good.
prefer that over the con. I mean, there are cons, of course, but it's funny that you can make $70,000 to $100,000 make owning a mobile detail business with one vehicle, and then put multiple vehicles out and double that. You seem to not fully understand anything that's
Oh,
going on.
do. I understand. It's fine.
Well, why even talk about what I do anyway? You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to talk about
No,
what
you
people
didn't.
do.
You're right. You're
I
cool.
want to
You're one of the
know.
cool people
I want to
here.
know
You're
what
an
kind of
anomaly.
toothpaste people use. That's all.
Or do they at all?
They definitely use fluoride toothpaste in here, guaranteed.
I do.
Well.
I use.
I kind of
picked
also
the
use
highest,
fluoride toothpaste.
the
I'm not
highest
sure.
level fluoride toothpaste I could
Oh,
possibly.
you just
find.
made fun of all the flat earthers who make you use fluoride.
You mean
toothpaste.
say you don't get yours
See, I have
off?
no bias, bro.
That's so
I mean,
Say you get yours off
you
the
can't
Info
swallow
Wars.
fluoride, dude.
So-
Off
Come
the
on.
Info Wars shop.
Sorry, guys.
No,
you get
no,
burned too.
it's-
Sorry.
it's
Hey,
not-
I would
it's
check
not
the
a
flat
minute
earther with the
before I
quickness, bro.
The
Would be the first time.
The last time I got toothpaste, I just scooped it right out of my ashtray and just used the charcoal from that.
Why use charcoal?
Yeah.
Arwin,
yeah.
Arwin
Oh,
gets
okay,
this
good.
from
Yeah.
Info Wars.
Well, although truth be told, it is fluoride free. I don't use that, but there's different kinds.
Yeah,
But
you
anyway,
can
I
make,
mean,
you can
teach
make
their own.
toothpaste out of charcoal.
And of course, you don't really want to drink fluoride, so you don't want to drink out of the tap water. So if there's a flat earther just chugging tap water, I'm going to say, hey, stop being a moron and chugging tap water with fluoride and all kinds of chemicals. If you're going to drink out of tap water, distill it or purify
But
somehow.
don't you want to take
because
care
it's
of your teeth?
terrible. And my tooth got chipped. My tooth got chipped when I was 11 years old, and then I got it replaced.
We
as
would
it
have
was
never
caps.
known.
Well, I'm just saying, you act like I'm like some meth head missing teeth. Like, no, my front tooth got chipped
You're
in
not?
half with my uncle was messing around with a metal pole like he was gonna hit me, and I was trying to show I wasn't scared.
He
It slipped
probably
out of his
trying to
hand and
hit
hit
you.
me in the mouth and chipped my tooth, and then I got it put back on. And then maybe 3 years ago, I like hit it with a glass and chipped it right back off. I hit it right on where it was pieced, and I just
Oh, that
haven't gone to
sucks.
fix it. And it's
Cool
honestly, it's only like a couple
story,
$100.
bro.
It's much more about like I don't care. Y'all
No,
care a lot
no,
more
Just
than
get
I
it in
do.
there.
I just can't imagine why anyone would hit you in the pole.
I know he didn't mean to, man. It slipped
It's
out of his
shocking.
hands, but it's a
Oh, yeah,
pretty
he
crazy
didn't mean
story.
to.
That like eternally fucked up my grill, bro. Like,
Yeah, it did.
Get veneers.
well,
They
I could,
work.
I could cap this one again. I just haven't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like the end
I
of
knew
the
uh,
a
day.
lady. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go on, sorry,
Go
go on,
ahead,
Lewis.
Brummy.
Nah, Lewis, I've got nothing to say, nothing that's relevant, so go for it.
I knew a lady who had a false tooth, and it was built into her retainer. So she had an adult retainer
Oh
that she
my
could take
God,
out,
cool.
and part of it was a false tooth. So like while she had the retainer in, it looked like she had a nice smile, and everything was good. It's very nice.
I almost felt like, I swear, I almost felt like fake.
Amazing.
You know, I was like, I don't want to like make my teeth fake, even though
probably a
it's just like a
partial.
little bitty cap, and it looks like 10 billion times better. You know.
Well, dude, you don't
But
want to show
I
up
just don't-
to
it's
detailing
just-
cars and look like a meth head.
That's pretty true, actually. That's the main reason that I've thought about actually capping it and not just being stubborn, like, because I don't care, because I have to maintain an appearance. But I have a good relationship with all my customers, man. You know, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'll probably get it capped eventually.
I can't wait for Cosmo to put a picture of himself up so that we can all look at him.
He
See how perfect
details
he
the
is.
meth heads cars.
Can I
detailed
point out
dealerships cars.
that even though this conversation is laced with jabs, that
Battery
you
low.
never have this conversation over in 24/7 ever.
Never.
You can't have any conversation.
Yeah, that's not true. I've had hella more casual. I've had some here, but it's always like after just like an hour and a half of fucking spiraling.
No.
There ain't no way. There ain't no way we could go over there and be like, "You're a gamma bitch," and last more than.
Well, but to be
more than
fair, I didn't just
3
come in. I didn't just come in and say that, bro.
No, it
Like,
doesn't
it's
matter
after,
if you said it.
It doesn't
50
matter to
minutes into a
you.
conversation. No, it doesn't matter.
I got insulted
we
20 times before I said that, dude.
I never insulted you once.
The first time
I
I
didn't
did
insult
it
you once.
today.
You cannot do that in the arena.
There's
you
no
cannot.
way.
Come on, man. Come on.
There's no way.
Listen.
Yeah,
If it is your argument,
you really about science,
you can't
Witsit,
do
you should
that
hang
in
out
the
here or go to the
I didn't say
equilibrium.
boo to you, Witsit, and you called me a gamma bitch. I didn't say fuck all to you. Not one insult.
Well, I just felt like you were amping up what I was trying my best to get enough airtime to specify I wasn't trying to obfuscate and shit. So I was frustrated. I get worked up in here. I don't dispute that, but it's always after like 10 people.
I do all the time.
constantly
I
interrupting.
get mad at people.
Yeah,
I
it's a
scream and
mess.
shout abuse at people all the time, man. So I'm no angel, far from it. But yeah, I mean, it happens when, especially when the hot seat and everyone's asking you questions, and you get someone else coming in and adding their little 2 pence. It gets frustrating. So
I feel like the mid-debate gun is just gonna go off at anybody. Like it doesn't even. I didn't even like intellectualize who said it. It's like when Jim's being frustrating and everyone's. It's like someone jumps in right when I think I'm gonna get the answer to his monologue and fucking.
Yeah, we all know we don't like to mess with it, but be honest. You've never been like you like this debate and everything, but no one here has ever like blocked you from presenting evidence, right? Or your side, right?
Well, I've been
like
muted
you're allowed
a
to present
ton
any
of
evidence you
times.
want. There's no fucking. Oh, if you're not on our team, you got to get just think about the contrast, Witsit. Think about it.
I'm muted even when I
Sleep on
don't
it.
interrupt. Like after I let someone say something and I'm about to respond, and then I get interrupted again. If I'm like, bro, what the fuck? They'll interrupt me, even though that dude interrupted after I was patient.
Yeah.
No,
What you do get in here though
it's
is
not
like,
even close.
They'll
Everyone
mute me, dude. They'll mute me.
Everyone clans the flat earther, right? Everyone clans the flat earther, and then no one gets called out for it. All the people seem to call out is the reaction from the flat earther. For example, if Witsit goes mad from all the clowning that other people have done, no one mentions all the people that are jumping in and saying shit to him. They just go, "Oh, look at the way you're reacting," but no one wants to talk about what got you there, not what provoked you to start acting out. That's what does my.
That's the one thing I'll say Jim Panda at least says sometimes. But
that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway,
but let's be honest. In here, you might get a chance to kind of explain why you let off, attack someone. Over in 24/7, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're gone. You're gone.
I mean,
and
most
then
of the
I'll talk
time,
about you
that's
for
not-
10 minutes, how weak your argument was, and all the rest of it. Over here,
Yeah, I hear you.
What's it? Just concede.